P1FCU, we're all about celebrating your wins, like finding an extra $10 in the wash.
Sweet.
Or your team winning the championship.
And it's out of here.
Yes! Woo!
Your wins add up, just like earning dividends in an Ascend checking account. So let's celebrate the wins together. Open your account at p1fcu.org/win. P1FCU, your community, your credit union.
Welcome to What If Idaho, the home of 1,000 paths for those that embrace possibility. There's no better place to be if you're looking for that next career, or just exploring. Life is a wide open door, no matter your age. Here at Next Steps Idaho, you can research careers and training options that work for you, and start a dashboard to keep your plans moving forward, so you can route your path from what if to what is at nextsteps.idaho.gov.
Our army of IdahoSports.com action photographers are covering games all over the state. And now we've revamped our galleries to make it even easier to find and order your favorite action shots. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click the Action Photos link in the menu.
Dear Detour, you asked us to measure up. So yeah, we did. When life slings you mud, sling it right back. Stay strong. Toyota Trucks.
Toyota. Let's go places.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy. It takes courage and determination to do hard things. Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Always entertaining and occasionally controversial, the North Idaho Prepcast covers every inch of District 1 and District 2 activities in Idaho.
Bonners Ferry, like the whole town was there, it seemed. I mean, they showed up, they were tailgating in the parking lot, barbecuing, playing games. Like, it literally felt like a small college atmosphere. It was super cool.
Hosted by Ryan Skaggs, the North Idaho Prepcast features the biggest stories happening in your area. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click Prepcasts in the menu to get caught up on what you've been missing, or check out each week's episode on the IdahoSports.com YouTube channel, Facebook page, or wherever you download podcasts.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another IdahoSports.com broadcast brought to you by P1FCU. We're here in District 2, so it's North Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com. And again, P1FCU is our major advertising partner for this. And we'd also like to thank Toyota. Let's go places. Folks, we are once again in Moscow, Idaho for the site of tonight's matchup featuring the Logos Knights against the Lapwai Wildcats, White Pine League 1A D1 matchup. And folks, I'm Garrison Hardy, and in the booth with me, or the booth, the stands that is Simeon Rock. And Simeon, we've got ourselves a good game. It's good to be back with you.
Oh yeah, you can say that again. I mean, it's going to be a real test for both teams here, and it's a beautiful night out here. A little bit breezy, but you always got that scenery behind you. So. Yeah, folks, you're looking at the Moscow Mountains and some fans as well. In the it's as you can tell by some of the gear that the fans are wearing, it is a cold night here in Moscow. It's already pushing the high 40s, and it's just going to get colder throughout the night. It's been raining all day here in Moscow. You see, it looks like the Scottish Highlands over there in the distance with the clouds peaking over the top of the mountains. And again, great setting for football. And Simeon, Logos is easily the story of this year thus far in the White Pine League. Nobody thought Logos would be in this position, and yet here they are, 4-0, undefeated on the season, and they just beat Kamei recently, 40-14. This team is just steamrolling through the competition. Yeah, they've been they've gotten a lot better, and that you've seen that in how they've played against the defending champions and everyone. Now, I would like to mention last week I believe they played Genesee, and the starters, it went well for Logos and not so well for Genesee. So the starters actually didn't play more than one quarter, really. And so, we'll see how, obviously more rest time, but at the same time, who knows if that'll affect a little bit, just not having that exact week-to-week, gameplay. But we'll see how they play tonight versus Lapwai.
Yeah, and, you mentioned Lapwai. And actually, at this point in time, are the PA announcer going to get this going? There we go. So we've got our PA announcer set to kick things off here for us, and that means we're going to have the national anthem and a word of prayer here at Logos. So we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back after these brief messages.
Welcome to What If Idaho, the home of 1,000 paths for those that embrace possibility. There's no better place to be if you're looking for that next career, or just exploring. Life is a wide open door, no matter your age. Here at Next Steps Idaho, you can research careers and training options that work for you, and start a dashboard to keep your plans moving forward, so you can route your path from what if to what is at nextsteps.idaho.gov.
At P1FCU, we're all about celebrating your wins, like finding an extra $10 in the wash.
Sweet.
Or your team winning the championship.
And it's out of here.
Yes! Woo! Your wins add up, just like earning dividends in an Ascend checking account. So let's celebrate the wins together. Open your account at p1fcu.org/win. P1FCU, your community, your credit union.
Yeah. I know a little something about myths. Like the myth that speeding isn't dangerous. Oh, and that myth you can tailgate at a safe distance. Or that you could safely weave in and out of traffic. Don't be fooled by myths. You'll get yourself into a hairy situation. Stay focused on the road. Be a legend like me. Have you heard the one about Charlie over at Pay Lake?
Dear road rivals, you may have 4 wheels and a similar build, but our resemblance ends right there. Later, Toyota.
Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Always entertaining and occasionally controversial, the North Idaho Prepcast covers every inch of District 1 and District 2 activities in Idaho.
Bonners Ferry, the whole town was there, it seemed. They showed up, they were tailgating in the parking lot, barbecuing, playing games. It literally felt like a small college atmosphere. It was super cool.
Hosted by Ryan Skaggs, the North Idaho Prepcast features the biggest stories happening in your area. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click Prepcasts in the menu to get caught up on what you've been missing, or check out each week's episode on the IdahoSports.com YouTube channel, Facebook page, or wherever you download podcasts.
Dear Exit Strategy, all your pieces are in place. Thanks for being there when I need you most. Always Toyota SUVs. Toyota. Let's go places.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to once again Moscow, Idaho, as the Logos Knights are preparing to take on the Lapwai Wildcats. And folks, it's just good to be back with you here in District 2, and we've got ourselves an excellent contest on the field. Now, before we went to commercial break for the national anthem. We were just talking about the Logos Knights and just the start to their season. They're 4-0 on the season, and things have been just nobody expected this. And now, before we go over to Lapwai's side, Simeon, who are some guys on the Logos sideline that the fans at home should really be keeping an eye on?
Well, first of all, I'd say obviously the quarterback Jack Driscoll. He puts up pretty good numbers every time he plays, especially in 8-man football where he can get that ball around everywhere. And then be looking out for some juniors in Dominic Porras and Lucius Comas, both wide receivers who are bigger targets, faster guys who can get out there on the sideline and get down the field and score some touchdowns. Paul Greaser's a senior. We've seen him show up a few times. Overall, yeah, they've got some solid wide receivers with a good quarterback, which can spread the ball around pretty well.
That they do. And one thing of note is the junior running back, Ben Carlson, is out for tonight's game with an injury. We hope to see him back here soon, as he is certainly an important rotational piece here for this Logos offense. And now, we've talked about Logos. Let's look across the field to Lapwai, and they find themselves in a bit of a transition year, and they kind of were last year as well. You know, this is a team that 2 years ago went 8-3 and was challenging for a state title with Titus Yearout, who, by the way, was the 1A at D1 White Pine League Offensive Player of the Year. Fast forward to last year, they go 5-4, and they still have a solid year, and they had a quarterback by the name of Ellenwood Jones, who rushed for over 170 yards a game. That's a quarterback, by the way, and he also won the White Pine League Player of the Year. So back-to-back Player of the Years for Lapwai, and now, Simeon, they turn to a freshman quarterback by the name of, that's number 6, Jerice McCormick, and he's got a lot of weight on his shoulders.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, back-to-back after some crazy athletes, but I'm sure he's trying to just settle in there. This Lapwai team is always athletic. They can always play, even if the numbers and their record doesn't necessarily show it. They have athletic players and capability to push every team they play anyway. So we'll be looking to see if he can settle in. Yeah, hopefully it works out for him.
That's right. Now, another thing of note is we talked about Logos's impact players. Let's now move to Lapwai's impact players. And Simeon, we got to start with number 23, Elias Yearout. He's the do-it-all player for Lapwai.
Yes, sir. I mean, when you have an athlete like that, every team's going to be scared of him, going to be focused on him, and yeah, he's certainly going to be a player to watch in this game.
Yep, and he's also the captain for offense and defense, so a lot of responsibility on his shoulders. And Coach Layton had mentioned that Layson Morel, Quentin Kipp, and Elias Yearout are going to be the 3 senior leaders of this team that are going to have to bear a lot of responsibility and a lot of leadership as they move on into this season. And thus far, let's take a look at how both teams have fared thus far this season, as Lapwai comes into this game with a 2-1 record. And one game of note, they beat Clearwater Valley 42-18 pretty handily. So this is a Lapwai, and we remember Logos's game where they beat Clearwater Valley 34-20. So pretty comparable, all things considered.
Yep.
This should be a pretty evenly matched game.
Yep, hopefully, and here we get set to get ready to kick off, that is, and we'll see whichever team comes up on top.
That we will. Now, folks, as we take a look at last year's matchup between Logos and Lapwai, it was a basketball game, 66-56. Logos came out on top, and we all remember Jack Driscoll's incredible 500-yard night that night. Are we going to see some more magic here under the lights in Moscow? Time will tell.
I'm sure each defense would like to keep the numbers a bit lower than that this year.
Fair enough, and that's one thing. That's probably one bit of improvement that we've seen from Logos thus far is their defense. To me, that has got to be the most drastic improvement thus far with Logos.
Yeah, certainly, and it's obviously helped their record quite a bit. And yeah, we get ready to kick off. We'll see.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are set for kickoff here. Again, in a cold, blustery night here in Moscow, Idaho, as back deep to receive. We've got one Wildcat back there, and that looks like that's number 3, Joseph Whitefoot, the sophomore. And here's the kick. And this is a little pooch kick over towards the 30-yard line. It's taken at the 30. And the Wildcats are able to get out to the 40-yard line. So good field position to open up tonight's game for the Wildcats.
Yep, as you can see, 8-man, the ball is not always booted into the end zone like college or NFL, and then each set a lot of times the teams can set up on some pretty good field position.
The referees for tonight's matchup, we've got the head referee, Mike Tatko. The umpires, Brad Higgins. Head linesman, Steve Judy. And line judge, Jamin Udi. So a veteran crew here on the field tonight. It's going to be 1st and 10, ball on the 40. Again, the freshman quarterback for the Wildcats, that's number 6, Jerice McCormick. And they pitch this one over to number 7, Julian Barros. And he's able to pick up a couple yards there, and a good response from the Knights defense.
Yeah, they got to him, but at the same time, he kind of, put one of them on their back, so not afraid of contact right there.
And McCormick making his way back to the huddle. Looks like he's going to get the play from the sideline every time. That was a pickup of 2 on that last carry, so it's going to be a 2nd and 8. McCormick is in the gun. Looks like we've got one wide receiver here on the near side. And that's Year Out going deep over the top. And it's caught. Elias Year Out high stepping into the end zone. Touchdown Wildcats.
Man, we were just praising that defense, but then right there just gets right by him. Drops a beautiful throw and touchdown right off the bat. Perfect start for Lapwai.
Picture perfect. 2 plays. Touchdown, and that was a 60-yard bomb to number 23, Elias Year Out, the senior, and Jerice McCormick, that is. He's a freshman, and he put that ball perfectly on him. Again, not a bad start, and now the Wildcats will go for 2.
Yep, immediately number 23, Elise gets in there, so player to watch, I tell you that.
That drive took 53 seconds. McCormick takes the snap, rolling to his right, fires it to the corner of the end zone, and that one is incomplete. It looked like he had it for a second, but it ended up hitting the ground, no good. And so, folks, just like that, Lapwai jumps out first, 6-0. And like you said, Simeon, we were just talking about the defense of Logos and their improvement, and that one didn't look good.
No, it did not. I mean, you got to be able to not have that on the first play, but or first drive, that is. But Lapwai, great for them. Scoring in 60 seconds, in less than 60 seconds is something to be a little bit proud of, right? So
not bad. Storm Electric has been serving the Palouse and Camas Prairie region since 1938, providing electrical wiring for all sizes of projects and well pump installations. Storm Electric is licensed and insured in Washington and Idaho. When it's time to renovate your home, business, or to install a well pump water system, call them at 208-835-2331. Storm Electric, strong supporters of local high school sports. And now the Lapwai Wildcats. They get their turn on defense as they are set to kick this one away. Back deep to receive for Logos. That looks like number 55, Henry Sunley. And on the other side, number 16, Lucius Comas. And Comas got his name into the scorebooks the last time we were here against Clearwater Valley. Set to kick this one off for the Wildcats. Well, I can't make that number out from here, but I'm sure he's a good kicker. And another pooch kick over towards the near sideline, and that's actually number 50, Gabriel Igielski. Oh, no, I was right. That was Sunley. There we go. And a good return from Sunley after having to scoop it up off the turf. He made something out of nothing there.
Yeah, it looks like he had to try to pick that up 2 or 3 times, but still managed to get some yards and set up again, and, not too bad a field position.
So it's going to be 1st and 10. Ball's on the 30. And this Logos offense, for the fans at home, Simeon, this is a very complex Logos offense.
Yeah, certainly. I've talked to some of the players, and sometimes they're the only ones to understand what's all going on.
1st and 10. Pressure being shown from the Wildcats on the outside. All their defensive linemen are on a 2-point stance. And motion from either side. Driscoll's going to roll to his left, looking downfield. Gets it out. Oh, one-handed catch there from Sunley. He bounces off a tackler. He's at the 50. He's at the 40 and brought down inside the 40, mark at the 35-yard line.
Both offenses with explosive plays right off the bat. I mean, we'll see if this is a battle of the offenses or if the defenses will step up.
1st and 10 for the Knights. And that's going to spot them at the 36-yard line, to be precise.
Yeah, he had a great catch. I mean, right on that throw right there. And, yeah, that was Henry again, the guy who, you know, muffed the kick a little bit, but get the ball in his hands. He's like, hey, I can actually do something.
So a fresh set of downs after the, we'll call it 50-yard pass play to Sunley. And now we've got motion on both sides of the field, and we've got an illegal motion, that is. There's a flag on the other. Oh, it's going to be encroachment, actually, against Lapwai. So the motion from Logos is just difficult to keep track of.
Yeah, I'm sure you're like, you see somebody moving, you want to, you want to get off that line quick, and sometimes it doesn't work out.
1st and 5. Very spread out formation here for the Knights. 2 wide receivers on either side of the field. Driscoll's going to keep it himself and run to the right. He's got a lane. He's trying to cut back forward, bounces off a tackle, and is brought down at the 20-yard line. So that's going to be a fresh set of downs for the Knights.
Well, there you are, just driving it down the field, and they want to obviously punch it in here.
1st and 10. And both defenses are on their heels currently, so hopefully they're able to start picking this up. But hey, as a commentator, games like this can be fun.
Yeah, always an exciting moment.
Man-to-man coverage on the outside. Lapwai running side to side, trying to keep up as that's Comas. Comas trying to get it to the outside. He's got the sideline. He's got the corner. Touchdown! Logos responds with a 70-yard drive of their own at 6-6.
A 2-play drive and a 3-play drive. Oh boy, we'll see if the defenses figure it out. I mean, it's early right now, but great drive on both sides.
A very, very explosive drives thus far. And we've come to expect this from Logos, and we're seeing it from Lapwai as well. So buckle up, folks. We could be ready for a wild ride.
Yeah.
So now Logos is going to line up for the 2-point conversion. Lapwai could not convert on theirs. It was incomplete. Driscoll in the gun. He's got Sunley on his right side, and he's got Jonathan Morrill on his left. 1 wide receiver on either side. It's Comas on the near side. And he's going to go Comas' direction, and it's incomplete. You know, Simeon, as a wide receiver, as a former wide receiver that is, you touch it, you catch it, that breaks my heart.
Yeah, I'm certain he wants that one right back. I mean, it was laid there right on a plate for him, and it doesn't work out.
So it's 6-6 with 9:13 to go here in the first quarter. It's barely been 3 minutes, and we've already got 2 touchdowns on the board. Simeon, we could lose our voices towards the end of this.
Yeah, 60-yard touchdown, 50-yard touchdown.
Last year, like I said, folks, for those of you at home, last year these 2 teams met, and it was a basketball score, 66-56 in favor of Logos, and Logos is trying to make it 2 straight here. Jack Driscoll last year threw for over 500 yards in last year's contest, and it's shaping up to be a little bit more of the same here.
Yeah, certainly both teams are going to have over 500 yards if they keep this up.
So Logos makes their way back onto the field. And set to kick things off for the Knights is number 44. That's Gunnar Holloway, the son of head coach Nick Holloway. He's also the junior center and linebacker.
Yeah, center and kicker, that's not something you always see.
No, not at all. So once again, back deep to receive are the Wildcats, and they're going to take this one at the 20. And he gets out to the 30, 35-yard line. So an excellent 15-yard return there from number 3, Joseph Whitefoot.
There you go. Right back at it, and we'll see who steps up this time, if it's Lapwai's offense or Logos' defense.
1st and 10, ball from the 35-yard line. And remember, last time the Wildcats had the ball, they scored in 2 plays with a 60-yard bomb over the top. We'll see what they come up with this time. The freshman quarterback, Jerice McCormick, under center, takes the handoff. They hand this one right up, and they try to run it to the outside, but nothing doing, no gain on the play.
Yeah, and I see him lining up under center there, and I don't believe we saw any of that from Logos' offense, so we'll see the difference here in each of the plays.
2nd and 10 after no gain there. And we're noticing that Lapwai has a little bit of a slower pace than Logos as far as lining up and getting the play going.
Yeah, but I mean, if you can get those long touchdowns, you know, take your time.
And who cares? 2nd and 10. An option play, and McCormick keeps it himself. So 2 rushes in a row, nothing doing, and it's going to be a 3rd and long play here for the Wildcats.
We got a timeout by Lapwai here.
Timeout Lapwai. We've got a 30-second break coming up here, but we'll be right back here on IdahoSports.com.
Welcome to What If Idaho, the home of 1,000 paths for those that embrace possibility. There's no better place to be if you're looking for that next career, or just exploring. Life is a wide open door, no matter your age. Here at Next Steps Idaho, you can research careers and training options that work for you, and start a dashboard to keep your plans moving forward, so you can route your path from what if to what is at nextsteps.idaho.gov.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I told you 30 seconds, and we're back into the action here. Logos and Lapwai. Lapwai just had a timeout taken as they are looking at a 3rd and 12.
Yeah,
They've got.
Sorry, go ahead.
They've got 1 wide receiver on either side here. They're in the gun.
Yeah, we just saw Logos' defense make 2 straight stops, so expect to see a pass here.
McCormick throws an out route, and it's over his head and incomplete. And there's the first stop of the night from one of these defenses.
Yep. Well, we'll see. They most likely punt it here, but finally stop and not a 60-yard touchdown, but who knows? Could be coming.
Well, maybe we'll see it on the punt return here if, in fact, Lapwai comes out to punt. And it looks like that's how they're going to line up. And back deep to receive for the Knights is going to be number 16, Lucius Comas. And again, he's got some big play ability of his own. And this one is a low spiral, almost blocked. Comas is going to take it on the bounce. He's out to the 50, lowers the shoulder, and he's brought down at the 40. Oh, but Lapwai says they have it. We'll see what the call is. And Logos was able to hang on to it, but that was a close one there. A pretty risky move there from Comas, but it did get him a solid gain.
Yeah, it was a little bit surprising. I mean, both up here and down there, I think I saw a Lapwai player who was pretty close to it, and he kind of stopped for a second, and then Lucius comes forward and picks up the ball. So, you know, on a little pooch kick, there you go.
So 1st and 10 here for the Knights as they're going to set up shop at the 47-yard line in Lapwai territory. And Lapwai kind of has an interesting defensive setup. No down linemen. They're all at a 2-point stance, and then as soon as I say that, they do have a down lineman over the center. And they're showing pressure up the middle. Lapwai still needs to get lined up here. Man-to-man coverage on the outside as Lucius Comas goes in motion across the formation. Driscoll rolls right and throws it over the middle, and that could have been a flag there. And they're just going to call it incomplete. Jonathan Morrill was the intended target.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of contact there, but also the ball was thrown a little bit far ahead of him. But, you know, it's up to the officials.
Elias Yearout was the Wildcat in question there. And, hey, there's the Wildcat across the field. They brought their mascot out for this. Where's our mascot for the Logos Knights? They're going to have to go do battle.
Yeah. You have to get somebody in a suit of armor or something. Wouldn't necessarily be the most fun thing on this night.
Especially in this weather, you're right. 2nd and 10 here after the incompletion. 4 wide receivers in the set. Driscoll takes the snap. He's going to run to his right, looks over the top. It's Comas. The defender falls down, and Comas makes the catch. And it's unfortunate that Comas kind of got his legs tangled up in the defender there. Otherwise, he could have been gone.
Yeah, I think that was a last-second attempt to stop him. I think maybe he just held on after the defender held on right after he fell down. It was like, this is all I can give.
That was number 7, Julian Barros, who made the tackle. And an impressive job by Barros to recover and bring Comas down.
Yeah, Comas has been a target multiple times this game already.
Again, 4 wide receivers for Driscoll. Pressure being shown by Lapwai. It's 1-on-2 on the outside. Driscoll keeps it himself, runs right up the middle, and he's able to pick up a solid gain there, getting close to the sticks.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, a big pass play and then just run it up the gut, get a, 5+ yards. Can't ask for too much more from your offense.
They're going to call it 2nd and 3, so a pickup of 7 there. That's what we call staying on schedule in the biz. Driscoll alone in the backfield. He's got 2 hatchbacks and then 4 total wide receivers. Now Morrill moves up on the left side, and now that means 2 wide receivers are legal on the far side. And we have a timeout on the field. Timeout taken by Logos. So, thus far, it's been all offense until Logos got that stop on the last drive. Now momentum appears to be on their side as they are down in the red zone. And this could be a game where 2-point conversions play a heavy part of this contest.
Yeah, certainly. We saw both teams have opportunities that looked like, oh, wait, did he have it? And then, didn't work out. But we'll see, because both of these explosive offenses, but then, you're starting to see the defenses develop and understand it. Yeah, definitely want to get those conversions.
Now, as we have a moment here, let's take a look at the overall standings here in the White Pine 1A D1. As soon as I say that, the players are back out on the field ready to go. But Logos sitting alone atop the conference with an undefeated record. And Lapwai currently down in 4th, sitting at 2-1, 1-1 in the conference. Driscoll throws a bullet to the near side. It's taken by, that's number 12, and he jukes inside. Can he find his way in? It gets close, but no cigar. That was number 12, Ryan Daniels, and last time we were here, Simeon, Daniels had a big game against Clearwater Valley.
Yeah, opening touchdown, and I believe maybe a closing one as well. So quick screen, and then
1st and goal. Driscoll powers forward, touchdown.
Hurry up offense as I spoke.
Yeah, Logos punches it in before the commentators can even say anything here, and suddenly it's 12-6.
There you go. I mean, quick-paced offenses work sometimes, especially in 8-man with the open field. Quick screen and then a quick run. There you go.
That's all she wrote. 6:38 to go here in quarter number 1, and we've got 3 touchdowns on the board. And here's the all-important 2-point conversion. This could pay dividends down the road here in this game. Driscoll, he's got 2 backs on either side. And he hands this one off up the middle. Powers his way forward. That was Jonathan Morrill, and it's no good. So the 2-point conversion, no good, and neither team has converted on their 2-point tries thus far.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns, 3 non-converted conversions, so to speak. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, you mentioned it. See if they come into play, because it's a little bit, after you get a touchdown, it's a little bit like, oh man, we haven't got a conversion yet. So I'm sure we'll see one later.
And while we've got a break in the action, we'd like to thank one of our lone power booster for tonight's game, and they're on the Lapwai side. It's Nimi Poo Fund. Thank you for your sponsorship of Lapwai Athletics. And again, Storm Electric has been serving the Palouse and Camas Prairie since 1938, providing electrical wiring for all sizes of projects and well pump installations. Storm Electric is licensed and insured in Washington and Idaho. When it's time to renovate your home, business, or to install a well water pump system, call them at 208-835-2331. Storm Electric, strong supporters of local high school sports. And we've got some school spirit coursing through the stands right now as the Knights are fired up here after taking the lead 12-6, and the Knights make their way back on the field again. Set to kick it off is number 44, Gunnar Holloway. Back deep to receive is number 3, Joseph Whitefoot for the Wildcats. And Whitefoot has had a couple of good returns that looked like it could have potentially been broken into the open, but Logos thus far has had good coverage as well. And again, folks, it's a crystal clear night, but it's also quite blustery as Simeon and I are bundled up. The rest of the fans here are also bundled up, and winters come early in Moscow.
It's the second day of fall. Come on.
And this one's actually going to be taken by number 7, Julian Barros, who takes the kick forward to the 39-yard line. And that was kind of a pooch kick scenario where he had to just run back and grab it.
Yeah, I saw, him just reach behind himself like, oh, I'll take this one. And, gets to a similar spot anyway, so still good field position.
So, 1st and 10. Ball on the 39-yard line, and Lapwai has been pretty consistently having field position around there thus far tonight. The quarterback, Jarice McCormick, already has a touchdown to his name. A 60-yard bomb to Mr. Elias Yearout, who's their do-it-all weapon for Lapwai. 3 wide receivers in the set here. McCormick takes the snap, looking. It's going to be a little out pattern here to Barros, who lowers the shoulder, and the ball comes free, and we'll see who comes up with it. That ball popped straight up into the air, and I believe Lapwai was able to fall on top of it. They did, but my goodness, Logos, they bring in physicality this year.
Yeah, it must have been a great tackle. Probably put his head right near the ball, and then it just came straight up in the air, and thankfully Lapwai was able to stay on top of it.
And the drive stays alive. 2nd and 6, we'll call it. 2nd and 7. So a pickup of 3 from Barros out of the backfield as McCormick makes his way back onto the field.
Yeah, I guess that even though you didn't get on top of it, that gives the defense a little bit of, hype around like, hey, we can do this. I mean, we just caused a fumble.
And let me tell you, Simeon, hitting people in this temperature is not fun. You feel it a lot more in those pads. As McCormick takes the snap, looking, fires it over the middle, and it's intercepted! Jack Driscoll doing it on both sides of the field as he takes it near the 20-yard line. The tip drill, but there is a flag in the secondary. We'll see what the call is.
Yeah, we'll see if Jack gets the ball and then has it again on the next drive, or whether this will stick with Lapwai.
The official is standing near it here, and it was against Lapwai. So that is Logos ball. The first turnover of the night goes in favor of the Knights.
Yeah, I guess they're like, hey, we can't get the fumble, we'll take an interception instead.
Not bad. And Jack Driscoll, there's something to be said when you're a quarterback. You can just read the other quarterback's eyes and know where the ball's going.
Yeah, you think like him,
Right. 1st and 10, inside the 30-yard line. They're already in the red zone. Logos could already be pushing 2-possession lead. On the near side, you've got Lucius Comas and number 12, Ryan Daniels. On the far side, you've got number 18, Dominic Porras. And they're going to hand this one off to the right side. He's trying to get the edge, and he's got it! Touchdown, Logos. That was number 20, Honor Mallory.
Yeah, just a simple motion play, but a sweep to the right, and speed kills, as they say. So
that was a 33-yard sweep play for the Knights, and now they are up 18-6.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty nice drive, a one-play drive after an interception and a good return. So
that's always the best time to attack an opposing defenses right after a turnover. So Logos doing just that, and now they're set up for the 2-point conversion. And again, none of these have been converted thus far tonight. Third time's the charm here for the Knights as Driscoll drops back, throws it over the corner, and it's incomplete. And there's no flag either. It looked like there could have potentially been pass interference, but it looks as though the receiver also lost his footing.
Yeah, I just saw him, start to go down before the ball was even there, and it's kind of hard to catch it when you're on the ground and it's going above your head.
So the score is 18-6 with 5:20 left here in the first quarter. And once again, folks, these offenses have just been flying up and down the field. But now Logos' defense back to they had a stop previously, and then they get a pick and put it into the red zone immediately.
Yeah, trying to show why they're the undefeated team right now. But, Lapwai gets the ball right back, so we'll see what happens.
And, folks, we got a bird's-eye view to the left side of the field. They've got a drone over the goalpost here, catching some good footage for us. And, man, Logos pulling all the stops out.
Yeah, they're really growing as a program now. Got aerial view too.
Yeah, folks, for those of you at home who maybe this is your first time seeing Logos, Logos as a program started this 1A D1 varsity program 3 years ago, and there were some severe growing pains throughout that process. Last year they went 3-6, had a couple of close calls that could have changed that record overall. And then fast forward to this year, they're undefeated, 4-0, and off to a great start against Lapwai tonight. So once again, here's the kick from Holloway. Sends it into the second level, and this one's going to go out of bounds this time. So once again, good field position for the Wildcats. But an 8-man football, that's not always the worst thing in the world to kick it out.
Yeah, about the same spot, really, as they've been returning it to anyway, so.
Yeah, Joseph Whitefoot was the kick returner for the Wildcats, waiting for that ball. And this one's going to be, it looks like they're going to ask them to re-kick it. And that'll also back them up a little bit for the re-kick.
Yeah, that's something I haven't seen too much, but that's actually a pretty wise decision in 8-man, I suppose.
Yeah, Lapwai certainly has the speed to make a deep return into Logos territory, and they're hoping to capitalize on that.
I wonder how far you could go back just kicking it out of bounds, out of bounds, out of bounds.
You know, that's a fair question. Let's send it into our rules experts. No, I'm just kidding. Do not have that here.
I'm sure Logos doesn't want to do that anyway, so.
That's right. So 5:20 here in the first quarter as Mr. Holloway sends this in to the night sky. And once again, this goes out of bounds. So we'll see what the decision is here.
I guess a right-footed kicker just hooks it to the left too much. I don't know.
Yeah, that's when you want to spot to your left a little bit further, change your rotation a little bit, and maybe that ball will go further to the right.
Gonna kick it off again for a third time here.
Third time's the charm, as they say.
Yeah, I bet he's certainly hoping so. He don't want to be creeping back too far.
So Lapwai, regardless, is going to be getting good field position out of this one. Again, it's 18-6, 5:20 to go here in the first quarter. Excellent start here for the Knights, but some trouble here with the special teams. Again, back deep to receive is number 3, Joseph Whitefoot. And we'll see. That looks like it's out of bounds once again.
Oh, he's got his head in his hands right now. He's like, oh, come on, Gunner.
So we'll see what the decision is here. It looks like Lapwai is getting their offense to come out onto the field now.
I mean, I guess so. I was kind of hoping, how many times can we go? But, yeah, I guess I wonder where the ball is going to be spotted.
So we're waiting for the official spot here, and they get the ball at the 45-yard line. So some pretty good field position here for the Wildcats.
Yeah, certainly. Get the ball at midfield anytime is nice.
And this is about the same part of the field where they had that deep bomb to Elias Yearout on the near side here. Could we be seeing something different? On the near side here, we've got, I believe that's number 8, Farrell Hayes, a senior. McCormick back to pass. He's got some blockers. They're going to Hayes, and it's over the heads of everybody as the nearest receiver was actually a Logos Knight. That was number 22 for the Knights, Max Hawthorne.
Yeah, they both kind of looked up and were like, oh, the ball's like 10 yards behind us already. So.
It's actually sailing even further.
Yeah, more than that.
So 2nd and 10 after the incompletion, 5:14 to go here in the first. Ball on the 45-yard line.
I suppose no hurt in taking a deep shot, as long as you don't throw an interception, See if you can get another big play.
It worked last time.
Yeah.
And folks, Lapwai lining up in their light blue and white uniforms, and then for Logos, the all navy and white helmets. McCormick, they're going to hand this one off to Barros, who tries to get to the outside. He's turned back in, great contain from the Knights, and he's only able to pick up a couple.
Yeah, good contain and then good gang tackling there. little bit of a sort of a delayed handoff around the side there.
So not even, he's barely able to get back to the original line of scrimmage here.
Yeah,
3rd and 8.
You can run sideways all you want, but if you don't get upfield, you don't get nothing.
And Lapwai lining up in the huddle, going over the next play. Logos hoping to get yet another stop. Jack Driscoll lined up man-to-man coverage here on the near side. Man-to-man coverage over the top. McCormick back to pass. He's going to throw it near side. Driscoll, another interception. His 2nd of the night, and he's going to try to take this back. He's at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Logos.
Man, is there some psychological stuff between quarterbacks, because it looked like he threw it right to him. I mean, 2nd interception for Driscoll tonight. This one a pick 6. Wow, you can tell why he's a stellar player.
Unbelievable. Jack Driscoll, 2 interceptions thus far, and we're not even out of the first quarter.
Oh, man.
We could be looking at a hat trick kind of a night.
Yes, sir. I mean, that was always gets everybody hyped. Any interception, then a pick 6. And then to the same guy who had an interception last time. I mean, that's pretty special.
Paul Greaser just subbed into the game. So Driscoll in the backfield alone by himself, probably exhausted after that pick 6. 4 wide receivers in the set. Greaser on the far side. Lapwai trying to get lined up as Greaser goes in motion. They hand it to him. He tries to bounce it inside, but he's brought down by, that was a good tackle there from number 22, Douglas Pappin.
I wonder if these teams just feel better with the open space 8-man game, because none of these conversions yet, right? And when you only have 3 yards to get or whatever it is, and versus 60 yards, and they seem to be getting the 60 yards easier.
My goodness. Well, while we've got a quick break in the action, folks, let's catch our breath and take a quick break. We'll be right back here on IdahoSports.com.
Always entertaining and occasionally controversial, the North Idaho Prepcast covers every inch of District 1 and District 2 activities in Idaho.
Bonners Ferry, like the whole town was there, it seemed. I mean, they showed up, they were tailgating in the parking lot, barbecuing, playing games. Like, it literally felt like a small college atmosphere. It was super cool.
Hosted by Ryan Skaggs, the North Idaho Prepcast features the biggest stories happening in your area. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click Prepcasts in the menu to get caught up on what you've been missing, or check out each week's episode on the IdahoSports.com YouTube channel, Facebook page, or wherever you download podcasts.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Moscow, Idaho, as the Logos Knights lead at 24-6. Early in this game, both offenses were going back and forth, and the last 3 drives, the Logos Knights defense has gotten the job done. Let's see what their special teams can do here. As Holloway sends this down towards the 20. It's taken at the 20, and the Wildcats are just going to have to fall on that one. That was Joseph Whitefoot who had to just cover up the muff, and that's going to be 1st and 10, ball at the 20.
Yeah, they keep hitting that sideline with the kicks. I mean, last drive it several out of bounds, but that one works out and kind of, you know, gets muffed, and you just got to stay on top of it there. Lapwai huddling up here.
So Lapwai really needing to get some things figured out here as it's 24-6. They're on the verge of being out of this game early. Back-to-back turnovers as McCormick fumbles the snap, and he's just got to fall on top of it. We're seeing Lapwai come apart at the seams at the moment, folks.
Yep, and looks like a timeout taken, maybe to reset and, you know, stop some of these mistakes and hopefully come out better.
All right, so another 30 seconds. We'll be right back.
At P1FCU, we're all about celebrating your wins, like finding an extra $10 in the wash.
Sweet,
or your team winning the championship.
And it's out of here. Yes!
Your wins add up, just like earning dividends in an Ascend checking account. So let's celebrate the wins together. Open your account at p1fcu.org/win. P1FCU, your community, your credit union.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to IdahoSports.com as we've got Lapwai really reeling here. Back-to-back turnovers for this team, and now they find themselves 2nd and 15 after a fumbled snap, and they really need to get things rolling here. McCormick, a bullet route over the top. That's Elias Euro. Elias Euro's at the 50, the 40, 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown Lapwai. What a response from Elias Euro. And McCormick has another long touchdown pass. This one is going to be pushing 80 yards.
I mean, call a timeout and then be like, I guess give it to Elias Euro and get another huge touchdown there. That is pretty much exactly what they needed. Get some momentum, put some more points on the board. Great response by Lapwai.
And now we've got 24-12. They suddenly cut it to a two-possession game here. And if they can get the two-point conversion, they're back in business. 3:45 left in this game. McCormick in the gun. It takes the snap. It looks back towards Hayes, and that one's incomplete with a flag on the play. That's going to be pass interference on Mr. Jack Driscoll.
Yeah, gets a one-on-one matchup, and it gets thrown in the corner. Gets a little too, aggressive on the touching there. So
a little too handsy, you might say.
Yeah.
So that means Lapwai gets another shot at the two-point conversion, and again, nobody has converted a two-point conversion thus far.
Now it's should be a little bit easier.
That'll move the ball a little closer to the end zone here. Elias Year out on the near side. He's got 2 touchdowns to his name. They're going to go right up the middle to Barros. It looks like he fumbled the ball and did not get into the end zone, so it is no good. And we still have yet to see anybody convert a two-point conversion.
Just one of the weird things that happens in 8-man football sometimes, I suppose.
That it is. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to keep it right here this time. We've been going back and forth enough as it is, and we want to take a quick look at the White Pine League here as we look at the conference as a whole. This is just unheard of, and nobody, again, I keep going back to this, but nobody predicted Logos to be where they're at, 4-0, atop the conference, undefeated, and this was just not nobody predicted this in IdahoSports.com. Nobody predicted this across the state of Idaho. And currently in second right now, that is Potlatch. Who predicted Potlatch? They're 3-0, 2-0 in the conference. And if both of those teams win tonight, we're going to have a barn burner at Potlatch next week.
Yeah, I guess just the development of these players, from the new program at Logos, several freshmen and sophomores, now juniors and seniors, and showing that they've gotten better and they've learned the game a bit better.
And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, on IdahoSports.com, you can go over right now. I'm looking at the scoreboard. It's live, it's active, and you can go see scores from all across the state of Idaho. Again, that's on IdahoSports.com as Lapwai is set to kick this one away. And that goes right to number 20. That is, and he's able to make it to near the 45-yard line, but that was Hunter Mallory.
Yeah, he had the sweep touchdown earlier, so, it came right to him. He's like, oh, I'll take that.
Yeah, he had a 33-yard gallop to the end zone on a simple sweep, and we've got a holding call against Logos, and that's going to back them up. This is going to be the worst starting field position they've had all night, and let me tell you, Simeon, if Lapwai's able to get a stop here, we could be looking at a different direction in this ball game.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing how quickly it can switch when you get an 80-yard touchdown. So, I mean, I'm sure Lapwai is hoping for that stop, and we'll see.
But Logos is firing on all cylinders, and it's led by that man in the backfield, number 21, Jack Driscoll. He's got 4 wide receivers in this one. He's got Lucius Comas, as well as number 12 for Logos. That's Ryan Daniels on the near side. And then on the far side, you've got Dominic Porras, as well as Max Hawthorne. Driscoll, he's going to look to the far side. He's got Porras, and it's just a little too low. He had the slant route incomplete, and it looked like he could have caught that one in stride.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's a little difficult when it's low on you like that, but, you know, when the ball's catchable as a wide receiver, you know, it's your job to catch it, so.
Go to the turf.
Yeah.
And near him was Julian Barros on the coverage. 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Ball is at the 34-yard line. No down lineman for Lapwai. And now some motion for the Wildcats. And Driscoll keeps it himself. He runs right up the middle. He's into the secondary. Jack Driscoll, he's at the 30, the 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Logos. Jack Driscoll does it again.
Gracious sakes, these big plays are crazy. Passing, running, whatever you want.
Logos has 30 points in the first quarter.
Oh, man. On track for 120. That's crazy.
This is unbelievable, folks.
That's Jack's second, 50-plus yard touchdown of the game. One on offense, one on defense. See if they can get the conversion is the question now.
Jack Driscoll, yeah, now if Logos could convert a 2-point conversion, they would gladly take that. As again, no team has converted a 2-point conversion on the night. Driscoll takes the snap. This one's a faded route over the top to Comas, and that one's incomplete. Good defensive coverage there.
We won't get our wish granted this time. Nonetheless, a touchdown's a touchdown, and that's a good quick drive for the Knights.
Yep, and folks, that's still 30-12 in favor of Logos here, and we are not out of the first quarter. This is just unheard of offensive production.
Yeah, some games end with scores similar to these, and this is like, nope, this is the first quarter. Yep. And we still have 3 minutes, so who knows, 1 or 2 or 3 more touchdowns.
That's right. And now for Lapwai, the calling card for them has just seemed to be get it to Elias and let him do his thing.
I mean, it's worked both times, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's the saying.
And thus far, it's not. Elias Yearout has 2 touchdowns to his name already, a 60-yarder and a 75-yarder respectively, so roughly 135 yards of offense for Yearout, or for Elias.
In the first quarter.
In the first quarter as well. And then Jerice McCormick, he does have a couple of interceptions. One of them was not his fault. The second one, it looked like there was miscommunication between he and his intended target. But he's also got 2 touchdowns, both to Yearout. As Holloway sends this one out into the night sky, and out of bounds it goes for a penalty. And we'll see if they got to line up and re-kick once again.
Yeah, it looks like they're staying on the field and just walking back. So, yep, looks like Lapwai wants another opportunity.
So another kick here from Holloway. He's just wanting to get his practice in, folks.
Yeah.
So he's going to be kicking this now from the 35-yard line, backed it up 5 yards. And the farthest that it went last time this happened was to the 45-yard line, so decent starting field position possible here for the Wildcats. And Holloway sends this one. This time it's going to be taken at the 30. And a nice return there. A couple of decent moves by number 3, Joseph Whitefoot.
Yeah, puts it on a little bit of side-to-side action there. He gains a few more yards.
Folks, Storm Electric has been serving the Palouse and Camas Prairie region since 1938, providing electrical wiring for all sizes of projects and well pump installations. Storm Electric is licensed and insured in Washington and Idaho. When it's time to renovate your home, business, or to install a well water pump system, call them at 208-835-2331. Storm Electric, strong supporters of local high school sports. So, once again, Lapwai finds themselves on the field here, and number 5, Quentin Kipp is on the near side, the senior wide receiver. On the far side, Elias Yearout. And Yearout runs an out route there. He's got a sky for that one, and it's incomplete there. McCormick just let that one sail on him a little bit.
Yeah, that's what you practice the vertical for right there. He was all completely extended up top and couldn't come down with it.
So 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. And the clock stops as a result, and we're still 3:14 left in the first.
This game's going to end at midnight, you know.
That's right. That's why I bundled up, folks. We could be here a while.
Yes, sir.
2nd and 10. McCormick in the gun. 3 wide receivers, and Barros goes in motion. They're going to run an option play here. They pitch it to Barros, and there's a fumble. It looked as though Lapwai was able to keep it, and they do.
Another scary moment. But, you know, we've seen this offense can come back from something bad and turn the next play into an amazing touchdown. So
this offense could just turn into, heck, Yearout's got to be down there somewhere.
Cormac to Yearout is going to be settled quite a bit, I foresee.
Could be some good fantasy output if that's the case. Yeah. So 3rd and 8 now as Lapwai comes to the line of scrimmage. 3 wide receivers once again. Kipp on the near side. Yearout on the slot on the far side, and that's Hayes, the X-receiver. And once again, McCormick looks towards Yearout, who catches it, turns inside, but good tackle there from Jonathan Morrill, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
I got to hold on for dear life. Like, do not let him get into the open field, or, you know, we're not going to get this one back, but good stop there on 3rd down.
Yes, indeed, and we'll see what the decision is here from Lapwai. With how Logos has been playing on offense, you may as well go for it at this point.
Yeah, it looks like about a 4th and 4. Manageable.
Yep, 4th and 4, ball on the 44-yard line, we'll call it. And this could be yet another big stop here for Logos. McCormick in the gun. Takes the snap. Excuse me, that's Yearout in the Wildcat. Keeps it himself, dives forward. And this could be close. It looks like he's spotted right on the line, and they give it the 1st down.
Yep, diving, and they just barely managed to get it. And good awareness of the 1st down marker there.
Fresh set of downs now for the Wildcats. That was much needed as the clock now rolls towards the 1-minute mark here in the 1st quarter. We could actually see a change of quarters.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah, we still got 3 quarters of action to go, folks, here in Moscow, Idaho, and it is cold, cold night here. 1st and 10. McCormick back under center, takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself and bowls forward for a solid pickup. We'll call it a gain of 3.
I mean, 3 yards every time. That equals a 1st down, right?
Yep, close enough. So 2nd and 7 after the gain of 3. Ball is now past midfield, 49-yard line into Logos territory.
I'm honestly just surprised I haven't seen a touchdown in 5 plays yet.
Yeah, that's right. 20 seconds now left here in the 1st quarter as McCormick takes the snap, and it's an option to Yearout. Yearout cuts back inside, tries to run back to the outside, but that Logos defense was swarming, and it's no gain.
Yeah, they're starting to keep the gains pretty short, and yeah, well-played defense.
And that is going to do it for quarter number 1. We finally got through it, and we've got 42 points on the board. Logos 30, Lapwai 12. We'll be right back after these messages.
Always entertaining and occasionally controversial, the North Idaho Prepcast covers every inch of District 1 and District 2 activities in Idaho.
Bonners Ferry, like the whole town was there, it seemed. I mean, they showed up, they were tailgating in the parking lot, barbecuing, playing games. Like, it literally felt like a small college atmosphere. It was super cool.
Hosted by Ryan Skaggs, the North Idaho Prepcast features the biggest stories happening in your area. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click Prepcasts in the menu to get caught up on what you've been missing, or check out each week's episode on the IdahoSports.com YouTube channel, Facebook page, or wherever you download podcasts.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy. It takes courage and determination to do hard things. Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Moscow, Idaho, as the Logos Knights and the Lapwai Wildcats are doing battle currently. Logos leads 30-12, and yes, you read that right. It's only the second quarter. So 42 points on the board through 1, and now Lapwai has the ball, and they are driving, trying to keep this drive alive here. Third down. McCormick back to pass. All his teammates are running downfield trying to get open. He's got to run for it, and the ball came free. Logos has it. That's the third turnover of the night that Logos has been able to come up with, and they've scored every time off of those turnovers.
Yeah, turnovers are pretty big, especially in games like this with super explosive offenses. Got to protect that ball. It looked like it kind of got spun around there, and the ball comes out. So, a nice strip tackle there.
And, you know, this is something that we talked about going into this game, just a Jerice McCormick being a freshman, that, you know, sometimes mistakes happen early on in a football playing career, and he's going to, I'm sure, get a talking to, and he'll bounce back. But there's just some inexperience on that side of the ball for Lapwai.
Yeah, sometimes you feel invincible as a young man.
So 1st and 10. Driscoll in the gun, back to pass, looking, sets his feet, throws it deep over the top to Comas. Lucius Comas, one play later, touchdown Logos.
You wonder why the quarters take so long. I mean, 19 seconds into the second quarter, both teams had possession of the ball, and there's already a touchdown.
11:41 to go here in the first half, and it's 36-12.
That's Lucius Comas again with a nice touchdown, and wow, explosiveness. What else can we say?
Explosive to say the least. 36-12, and now here's a 2-point conversion attempt here. Driscoll keeps it himself, cuts it inside, and they finally put 2 points on the board.
They can do.
Yeah. That is the first 2-point conversion of the night for either team, and that makes the score 38-12 in favor of the hometown Knights, who are still undefeated on the season and hope to make it a 5-0 start.
Yep, I mean, another turnover capitalized on immediately by the Knights. So Lapwai is going to get the ball again, and then, you know, probably be a little more careful with it and try and punch it in themselves.
38-12 now.
We've already seen, you know, several players on the Knights get touchdowns between Jack and Lucius, Honor. I mean, pretty good at spreading the ball around, especially with the crazy offense. But Lapwai, you know, when you've got Elias being pretty elite talent, I mean, it's no surprise that he gets the ball often.
Now for Lapwai's side, Simeon, let's say you're on that sideline. You know, What would you be telling your teammates at this point in time when it's 38-12? Logos is just humming right now. What would you be telling your teammates?
I mean, it's a tough position to be in, first off, and but you've seen yourself go on. You know, they were pinned back pretty far, and then they get an 80-yard touchdown. So you've seen yourself be able to make these big plays. But really, it's like, you know, stick with it. You're football players. You're tough. Fight this one out, and do what you can. Do what you can. You're playing a good team, so play to win. Play to win.
And we'll see if they take that message to heart here, as here's the kick. And this one is from Honor Mallory, and this time it goes to the right side of the field. The Wildcats were not expecting it. They can't get on the ball. And it looks like they were just able to, but my goodness, that was also a close call.
As soon as he got on it, he got hit. And they switched up the kicker there, and we see it go to the opposite side of the field. So,
yeah, Honor Mallory was the kicker there. That ball gets sent back all the way inside the 20. This is going to be the worst starting field position of the night for either team. Lapwai takes over at the 15-yard line, down 26 in the first half.
Yep, I mean, got to be looking for Elias at this point. Or
Elias is down there somewhere.
Yeah.
McCormick in the gun. Takes the snap, rolls to his right, fires it over the middle, and it's year out once again. What an excellent post route and a bullet from McCormick. And that is a fresh set of downs for the Wildcats and much needed ball movement.
Yeah, that was a good way to get the ball down the field. Nice throw there, nice catch, of course, and who would have known? Elias Yearman.
It's Elias Yearout, and he's over 150 yards receiving already on the night, and this is the first half. And McCormick, he's done a good job of distributing. McCormick does have the 2 turnovers, but he's still done a good job getting his elite target Yearout the ball. 3 down linemen for the Knights. Man-to-man coverage over the top. McCormick, he's going to roll to his left, being pursued. He's just going to have to tuck it and run, and he's body slammed by 3 Knights. And that's never a fun feeling, especially in this temperature.
Looked like he was looking upfield and then just didn't quite see it. But then as soon as he, you know, that half second there that he doesn't find anybody, boom, he gets hit.
Yeah, for those of you watching from the comfort of your home, it's 50 degrees currently. And it's just going to get colder and colder as we head into the 48-degree range by the end of the game. Assuming the game ends at a, you know, reasonable hour.
Sometime, you know.
Sometime tonight.
Tomorrow morning or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, summer left us a little too fast for my liking.
That's right. It's that global warming is brutal. 2nd and 9. Heading towards 10 minutes here in the first half. 38-12 in favor of the Knights as they've got 3 down linemen, man-to-man coverage over the top. And it's going to be a sweep play here for the Wildcats as they try to bounce it to the far side of the field, but really just nothing doing as the Knights were prepared and no gain on the play.
Yeah, I kept looking for something to come out, but then no, just more and more guys got there, and eventually the pile goes down.
So 3rd and 9.
Yep, not a great position to be in, but we'll see if they can find Euro, I suppose.
And folks, we just got a delivery of food here from our friends at Logos, and my goodness, this chili could not have come at a better time, let me tell you. And we've even got some cornbread here. They just really know how to take care of broadcasters here at Logos.
They heard you talking about how chilly it was.
Yes, they're like, you know what? He needs some chili. The good kind, though.
Yeah.
It's 3rd and 8. McCormick. He tries to get to the outside, but no blocking.
Gracious sakes. Quite the 3rd down defensive play there by the Knights. God, beautiful sack there, and nowhere to go for McCormick.
Nowhere to go indeed. And that's going to bring up 4th and 15 here with 8:30 to go here in the first half.
Yeah, and I wonder if they're just going to go for it anyway, because what difference does it make as we've been watching this Knights offense? So Looks like they will be punting it away.
Back deep to receive is number 16, Lucius Comas. Oh, but they have him coming up closer to the line here. It looks like they don't have a lot of respect for McCormick, who sends this into the air. And that almost bounced off of a Knight, but that bounces inside the 40, mark at the 35-yard line.
He had no idea that was coming. Bounced right by him. The sideline's like, oh, but, you know, escapes that time.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Knights, ball on the 35-yard line.
8 minutes to go.
And I can confirm, ladies and gentlemen, that chili is amazing.
There you go.
Once again, I just got to brag on the people here at Logos who do such a good job of taking care of us here at IdahoSports.com. Joy to be here. And man, the fans here are having some things to be joyful about as their undefeated Logos Knights lead 38-12 here in the first half.
And the ball's right back in Jack's hands soon enough.
That's Jack Driscoll in the gun. 4 wide receivers in the set here. It looks like we've got 2 eligible receivers on the near side, and that is Porras, who goes in motion. He does a quick hook route, and it's incomplete. It looked like he heard some footsteps there as Barros for the Wildcats was in on the coverage.
Yeah, Porras, a couple times, I think that's 2 now, dropped. He's actually fresh off an injury. He had an ankle injury earlier, but, you know, got to catch the ball when it gets to your hands, so a little bit bummer, but who knows with the Knights defense, offense. It's only 2nd down, so.
Well, they currently have plenty of targets to go around, so time will tell. Motion, and Driscoll's going to keep it himself. He cuts outside. He's on the near side of the field. He's at the 40, and he's finally brought down by Barros. Inside the 40-yard line, mark it the 30-yard line.
The last line of defense able to bring him down, but still a beautiful run there.
And once again, Logos finds themselves in Wildcat territory as they hope to continue on this roll.
Yeah, Jack Driscoll, a dual threat quarterback as we've seen tonight.
And Driscoll actually getting recruited by couple of smaller division schools. We'll see where he lands. He's also a solid baseball player. Is that right, Simeon?
Yeah, I've actually had the opportunity to play with him, and he's a varsity player over at the Moscow Bears.
Driscoll over the top towards his intended target. Incomplete, and that was also Porras once again. Couldn't come up with a connection there.
Yep, but once again, it's a bummer on that play, but then the next play, who knows what's going to happen. Knights huddle up here.
2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Ball spotted inside the 30, close to the 20-yard line. Driscoll once again in the gun. 4 wide receivers in the set. Lapwai getting set, trying to match up with all the eligible receivers. This one goes over the top, and there's a flag. Looks like that was Kip who grabbed a hold of the Logos Knight. That was Max Hawthorne, the intended target.
Hey, you saw him throw his hands up there and be like, hey, come on, give me something here. Just get the flag.
Just do that as a receiver, and you've got a chance of getting some. And excuse me, that was Paul Greaser, the intended target.
Yeah, I'm sure he felt like, hey, he's holding on to me. I can't get out there. And he managed to get the call that time.
And it looks like they may have waved that flag off. Perhaps the ball was uncatchable, is their argument. And so it's actually going to be 3rd and 10, no pass interference as Driscoll. Now he goes to the far near side, and it's caught! Porras gets the touchdown this time.
There you go, fix that connection from earlier. A couple drops, now a wide open touchdown.
And ladies and gentlemen, it's 44-12, and we're still in the first half.
Yep. Game getting a little bit out of hand there for Lapwai, but we'll see, stop the conversions, those will add up, so they've done pretty well so far when it comes down to the tight spot of the conversions, yeah.
Still 7:19 to go here in the first half, and Lapwai searching for answers. Logos, frankly, just looks more in sync, perhaps even more athletic than in years past. as Driscoll is going to keep it himself. But then it's going to be a little jump pass, and this one's intercepted by Elias Yearout in the end zone. A good read there from the senior. Do-it-all Wildcat.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna find the ball on offense and defense as one of the top players out here on the football field tonight.
Well, folks, we're going to take a very quick break here. We'll be right back here on IdahoSports.com.
At P1FCU, we're all about celebrating your wins, like finding an extra $10 in the wash. Sweet. Or your team winning the championship.
And it's out of here. Yes!
At P1FCU, we're all about celebrating your wins, like finding an extra $10.
I know a little something about myths. Like the myth that speeding isn't dangerous. Oh, and that myth you can tailgate at a safe distance. Or that you could safely weave in and out of traffic. Don't be fooled by myths. You'll get yourself into a hairy situation. Stay focused on the road. Be a legend like me. Have you heard the one about Charlie over at Pay Lake?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Moscow, Idaho. As the Logos Knights, let's just call it what it is. They're taking it to the Wildcats currently, 44-12. And again, I'm just massively impressed with this Knights team.
Yeah, earlier on it was just a punching game, but Knights defense has stepped up.
And this ball's bouncing all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And we haven't seen that from the Knights thus far. And so an excellent kick. And once again, Lapwai is going to be backed up inside their own territory.
Yeah, that one certainly caught me by surprise. As everything else has been, around the 30-yard line-ish. And then that one just keeps bouncing forward until it lands in the end zone.
So 7:19 to go here in the first half. 44-12, Logos leads. Lapwai, they've got a lot of work to do, Simeon.
Yep, I mean, just keep hoping that, you get the good plays, get a good drive going, and really not turning the ball over. That's kind of killed them tonight so far. Just every time they fumble or throw an interception, it's putting the ball back to the Knights offense is kind of a really dangerous game to play, as we've seen tonight. So really just hoping to keep driving down the field here.
Yep, currently 3 turnovers on the night for the Wildcats. And there's been several more instances where they almost turned it over. And there is yet another takedown in the backfield.
Just nowhere to go. I mean, great containment, staying with him. That was Clive Miller there.
Seven minutes and counting.
Here we go, just calling somebody else into the huddle. Hopefully getting a play call here that'll go positive yards.
Second and we'll call it 15. Ball is inside the 15-yard line. And once again, just not much doing there.
Looks like he got past the line of scrimmage there. So.
Again, I just harp on this Logos defense, and the last time I did that, Elias Yearout broke a 60-yard touchdown. But this Logos defense is just a totally changed unit from years past.
Yeah, and I mean, it's quite surprising you see Jack Driscoll out there every time. And I mean, good for him because he's been, he's 2 picks already, but.
Yearout lowers the shoulder, but an excellent tackle there from Jack Driscoll.
Just as I talked about it. He's a great offensive and defensive player. Yeah, this whole defense just has developed, really, and showing themselves to be, a lot better than they used to be and more dangerous now.
And I think a lot of it, starts in the weight room. This Logos team has just gotten bigger. They've gotten more physical. and they've gotten faster to the ball. And then on top of that, in years past, when they first started this program, not a lot of these guys even watched football. They just did not have an understanding and grasp of the sport. So now the strategy is coming into play, and Coach Holloway and his staff have done a masterful job of transforming the Logos Knights into contenders as McCormick rolls to his left, looks downfield, being pursued, having to run for his life, and he's brought down from behind, and that's going to bring up, was that a turnover on downs? It was. That's a turnover on downs, and the Knights take over in hostile territory.
Yep, that's I mean, not a great drive, but that's credit to the Logos defense there. Just closing, not letting anything behind them downfield, and then the D-line able to get to the quarterback there. Great job.
5:04 remaining here in the first half. Driscoll lines up with 4 wide receivers on either side. And we've got a timeout here on the field taken by Lapwai, and I believe that is their final timeout of the first half. And so we're going to take a quick break as well. We'll be right back here in Moscow, Idaho.
Welcome to What If Idaho, the home of 1,000 paths for those that embrace possibility. There's no better place to be if you're looking for that next career, or just exploring. Life is a wide open door, no matter your age. Here at Next Steps Idaho, you can research careers and training options that work for you, and start a dashboard to keep your plans moving forward, so you can route your path from what if to what is. At nextsteps.idaho.
Always entertaining and occasionally controversial, the North Idaho Prepcast covers every inch of District 1 and District 2 activities in Idaho.
Bonners Ferry, like the whole town was there, it seemed. I mean, they showed up, they were tailgating in the parking lot, barbecuing, playing games. Like, it literally felt like a small college atmosphere. It was super cool.
Hosted by Ryan Skaggs, the North Idaho Prepcast features the biggest stories happening in your area. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click Prepcasts in the menu to get caught up on what you've been missing, or check out each week's episode on the IdahoSports.com YouTube channel, Facebook page, or wherever you download podcasts.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Moscow, Idaho, as now Logos has the ball here inside the 30. Driscoll fires a bullet here on a wide receiver screen. That is to Daniels, and there's a flag in the backfield, so likely a holding call. That was Ryan Daniels on the reception.
Yeah, another one of those quick screen plays that we see come up relatively often with this Knights defense when you've got, 2 people out there on each side. But a holding call will bring it back, so not the desired outcome of the play.
And this has been a pretty clean game thus far. Shout out to the officials just trying to keep the game moving. The officials again. Referee is Mike Tatko. The umpire, Brad Higgins. Head linesman, Steve Judy, and the line judge, Jamin Udi, a veteran crew here in District 2. I've had this crew numerous times on IdahoSports.com. 1st and 20. Driscoll. He's throwing it deep over the top. He's got a target. It's Comus. Once again, touchdown Knights. They're running away with this one.
Have a game, Lucius Comus, number 16 there. I mean, gracious sakes. What is that, 2nd, 3rd touchdown of the game already? And
I'm losing count.
I mean, when they scored 50 points before the first half's over, it's kind of hard to keep track sometimes, but wow. I just got to keep saying it. I mean, this offense is pretty elite and explosive.
Jack Driscoll has got at least 3 touchdowns through the air, if not more. We've also got a couple of touchdowns on the ground for this Knights team as they hand it to Morrill up the middle, and he's not able to get the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, the phenomenon of this game is only the 1 2-point conversion out of all these touchdowns.
That's where they run into problems. So just like that, it's 50-12. Logos has hung half a century mark on the Lapwai Wildcats, and that Lapwai program over there has a lot of tradition on their side, and this has just got to be quite a humbling experience to go through something like this. And Simeon, this is not disrespectful at all, but this is where the mercy rule, or excuse me, the running clock could come into play here in the second half.
Yeah, if Lapwai can't respond and the Knights offense goes in, and again, I believe it's 40-point lead, something like that. I mean,
45, I think.
Okay, yeah. Well,
regardless.
See if Lapwai can respond. I mean, it's, not going in their favor right now. It's just the Knights defense has really stepped up, and then when you turn the ball over, it's pretty hard.
Yeah, for those of you just joining us, Logos and Lapwai started the game trading blows. It was 6-6. Then Logos proceeded to stop Lapwai on 4 straight possessions, and they just increased the gap ever since. And now Mallory is in kicking this one once again, and it's going all the way back to the end zone for a touchback. Back-to-back kicks. Well, Mallory, he's coming in and booting it.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, something I'm just used to seeing when I'm watching college football or whatever, like, oh, touchbacks, and then watching 8-man, I don't see that too much, and now I get back-to-back. That's showing off a little leg talent there.
So 1st and 10, ball's going to be spotted at the 20-yard line with 4:38 to go.
Yeah, honestly, Lapwai probably just hoping for something positive here and trying to escape that Knights defense.
Lapwai searching for answers, down 50-12. McCormick takes the snap, rolls to his right, and he's brought down from behind. That sack was by number 25, Clive Miller.
Yeah, it's a couple times now we've called his name recently. Just getting in there defensively. Way to go, Clive Miller.
Clive Miller and Story working deep in the line up there.
Now Lapwai's pinned back even farther.
2nd and 17 for Lapwai.
So a 7-yard loss on the sack from Clive Miller. And the hill just keeps getting that much taller for Lapwai.
I mean, pretty much just hope that your young quarterback can make something happen here, that your receivers can get some separation. And yeah, it's not going in Lapwai's favor right now, but they're still playing,
You know, this is definitely a learning experience for this Lapwai team as they kind of have a shovel pass here, and it gets to the outside. I thought that ball almost came free.
Yeah, that was an interesting play. It was like side-to-side shovel.
Pitch to Europe. Means much yards after speed more. Brings
But
up 3rd and 9.
beyond the line of scrimmage, so gains back the yards from the sack.
Positive yard there. It's going to be 3rd and 9 after the carry. 3:05 to go.
Clock continues to tick.
.250 and counting, and I'm pretty sure Lapwai is just fine with that.
Yeah.
McCormick in the gun. Takes the snap, and he's just going to pitch this one forward, and the run game is just not there.
Yeah, the Knights defense has been able to stuff it up recently. And it's I mean, rather kind of interesting that they keep doing that. Probably to, get the clock rolling, because it seemed like so far the passing game was their strong point, but I suppose you want to not leave Logos with any time before the half, and then, if you can get, sometimes you hope for positive yards, but we'll see on this 4th and long.
2 minutes now and counting. There's no 2-minute warning in high school. And will they punt it? It doesn't look like they're lining up for the punt. They're just going to go for it here. McCormick is going to keep it himself. Oh, but he's going to bullet it over the top. That's incomplete.
Flag on the play.
So the pass was knocked out of the hands of Hayes. Great defense there. That was number 12, Ryan Daniels, on the coverage. And it's a flag against Lapwai, so that means it's a turnover on downs. Logos gets the ball back.
It looked like he had it for a second, but then, as you said, great defense by Ryan Daniels there. Gets the hand down, punches the ball out before he can really establish that possession and incomplete pass.
Just an unbelievable performance tonight from Logos.
Yeah, just really showing everybody why they're ranked #1 in the White Pine League right now.
1:45 to go. 1st and 10. Jack Driscoll in the gun. He's got 2 running backs on either side. Driscoll hands the ball off to Sudley. And that's a touchdown for Logos. Henry Sudley gets his name in the scorebook. And now it's just everybody's getting a turn at this point.
Yeah, it looks like Lapwai's defense is a little bit, fatigued, and I'm sure, not in the best of spirits with the scoreboard being as it is right now. But you got to get to halftime here. You got to fight it out, and you'll have time to rest then.
And at this point, you got to start thinking about player safety as well,
Yeah.
as Driscoll gets the 2-point conversion, and Logos gets a second one as they now lead 58-12.
Yeah, wow. There, Henry Sudley getting his name in the books, as you said. Logos spreading the ball all around and managing to do what they can do.
So Logos getting set for the kickoff here now, and we're probably going to be looking at a running clock here for the rest of the game at least once the second half gets kicked underway. As again, player safety, and you'll just be looking ahead for the next game at this point, and looking ahead at the schedules for both of these teams. It's just surprising we're already talking like this here in the first half. Logos has got a date with Potlatch, and that is at Potlatch. That's going to be September 29th, so next Friday. And Lapwai will set their sights on Troy next week, and it's going to be at home for Lapwai, so hopefully they can go back and lick their wounds and get on the mend here and back in the right direction, as this has just been a kicking from Logos out back by the woodshed.
Yeah, it's kind of caught me by surprise, because after this first few drives, it was, punch and Lapwai punches, Knights punch, and then it just kind of got blown open from there.
And here's the kick. Once again, Mallory sends this one deep, and it's taken inside the 10. And brought down, that is the return man for the Wildcats. That was Whitefoot. Takes it to about the 20.
Yeah, even on the kickoffs, we've seen the Knights, switch up their kicker, and Lapwai has not been given as good field position as they have previously. And at this point, probably going to see them run the ball several times to try and get to halftime.
1:34 left here in the first half. And just ever since the last touchdown pass to Year Out, there's been nothing positive for Lapwai. They can't run the ball. They can't throw the ball through the air consistently. It's just been a rough outing, and there's also just been missed assignments on offense and defense. And it's really carrying forward here as McCormick, looking downfield, steps up, and he is being brought down once again. We've called his name numerous times. That's number 25, Clive Miller.
Spun him a couple times there,
The wash cycle.
Yeah, really. Man, it's just a bummer for Lapwai. He's looking downfield and just doesn't see anything, and Clive Miller gets him right there, and it's the harsh reality of it sometimes.
It's going to be a timeout taken by Logos with 1:02 left, and give Lapwai a chance to talk things over. So 102 remaining, 58-12, and Simeon, you just kind of run out of things to say in that this has just been such a dominant performance from Logos on both sides of the ball, and Lapwai offensively just can't get anything going. The deep ball is not there anymore, and then the offensive line can't protect McCormick with enough time to get the ball downfield.
Yeah, I mean, Logos recognized after the few times they got the ball to Elias that, he's the guy to stop now, and then once they do that, other guys start making plays at the line of scrimmage, and it makes it really tough on Lapwai. It's a great job for the Knights, and we'll see if, Lapwai, if the Wildcats can at least survive it out up till halftime here.
So 102 left here as Lapwai makes their way back out on the field.
Yeah, looks like a run offense here.
It's going to be 2nd and 8. McCormick, he's actually going to fire this one out to the near side, and it's Oh, that was a catch. That was brought in by Kip.
Apparently, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, what's going on, Simeon? Come on. That short reception was made by Quentin Kip, the senior, one of the seniors that Coach Layton was talking about as being one of the leaders of this team. It's 3rd and 8 still, so really no gain on the play.
Yeah, the clock looks like it stopped, so I'm wondering if they called that incomplete.
And that very well could be. So 3rd and 8 after the incompletion. Kip was the target. And he's coming out to the near side once again. And just nothing doing. Wasn't even sure that was a run play being developed as Elias Yearout tried to fall forward, but no gain on the play. And that's going to bring up 4th and long.
Yep, I mean, what else to say? It's just nothing seems available right now on their offense. So
there's no push up front to open holes for the run game, and then that push up front results in not being able to look downfield for a deep ball to Elias Yearout. It's just a tough equation right now that needs solving. As Lapwai steps up to the line for what could be the final play of the half. And they're just throwing it up deep. This one to Hayes, and it's too short. Hayes was trying to turn around and come back for that one, and it's incomplete. 3 seconds left, and they could technically score right here before half.
Yeah, that incomplete pass stops the clock. See if Logos really tries to punch it in, or if they kind of just send a run play here.
So 3 seconds left. It's really only time for one play here, but Jack Driscoll has shown the ability to sling the ball across the field effectively. And he's got numerous weapons like Porras or Comis, both of whom have gotten on the board for touchdowns. Looks like Sunley and Morrill will stay in as blockers. And Driscoll back to pass. He's got a post route to Porras, and it's incomplete right out of his hands. That looked like a perfectly thrown ball, but nonetheless, that brings up halftime.
Yep, nice thrown ball, but with the score being as it is, it doesn't matter too much.
So we've played 2, and our score in this one, Logos 58, Lapwai 12. We're going to take a break here to thank some of our sponsors and pay some bills, and we'll be right back here in Moscow, Idaho on IdahoSports.com.
Make the memories of this game last a lifetime. By downloading the digital game file of this contest, you can have your own personal copy of this game forever. These make great gifts for the student athletes involved. Just click the Order Now button for more details.
At P1FCU, we're all about celebrating your wins, like finding an extra $10 in the wash.
Sweet.
Or your team winning the championship.
And it's out of here. Yes! Woo!
Your wins add up, just like earning dividends in an Ascend checking account. So let's celebrate the wins together. Open your account at p1fcu.org/win. P1FCU, your community, your credit union.
Dear Detour, you asked us to measure up. So yeah, we did. When life slings you mud, sling it right back. Stay strong. Toyota trucks.
Toyota. Let's go places.
Yeah, I know a little something about myths. Like the myth that speeding isn't dangerous. Oh, and that myth you can tailgate at a safe distance. Or that you could safely weave in and out of traffic. Don't be fooled by myths. You'll get yourself into a hairy situation. Stay focused on the road. Be a legend like me. Have you heard the one about Charlie over at Pay Lake?
Always entertaining and occasionally controversial, the North Idaho Prepcast covers every inch of District 1 and District 2 activities in Idaho.
Bonners Ferry, like the whole town was there, it seemed. I mean, they showed up, they were tailgating in the parking lot, barbecuing, playing games. Like, it literally felt like a small college atmosphere. It was super cool.
Hosted by Ryan Skaggs, the North Idaho Prepcast features the biggest stories happening in your area. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click Prepcasts in the menu to get caught up on what you've been missing, or check out each week's episode on the IdahoSports.com YouTube channel, Facebook page, or wherever you download podcasts.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy. It takes courage and determination to do hard things. Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Welcome to What If Idaho, the home of 1,000 paths for those that embrace possibility. There's no better place to be if you're looking for that next career, or just exploring. Life is a wide open door, no matter your age. Here at Next Steps Idaho, you can research careers and training options that work for you, and start a dashboard to keep your plans moving forward, so you can route your path from what if to what is at nextsteps.idaho.gov.
Our army of IdahoSports.com action photographers are covering games all over the state. And now we've revamped our galleries to make it even easier to find and order your favorite action shots. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click the Action Photos link in the menu.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Dear road rivals, you may have four wheels and a similar build, but our resemblance ends right there. Later, Toyota.
Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Make the memories of this game last a lifetime. By downloading the digital game file of this contest, you can have your own personal copy of this game forever. These make great gifts for the student athletes involved. Just click the Order Now button for more details.
At P1FCU, we're all about celebrating your wins, like finding an extra $10 in the wash.
Sweet.
Or your team winning the championship.
And it's out of here. Yes!
Your wins add up, just like earning dividends in an Ascend checking account. So let's celebrate the wins together. Open your account at p1fcu.org/win. P1FCU, your community, your credit union.
Dear Detour, you asked us to measure up. So yeah, we did. When life slings you mud, sling it right back. Stay strong. Toyota trucks.
Toyota. Let's go places.
Yeah, I know a little something about myths. Like the myth that speeding isn't dangerous. Oh, and that myth you can tailgate at a safe distance. Or that you could safely weave in and out of traffic. Don't be fooled by myths. You'll get yourself into a hairy situation. Stay focused on the road. Be a legend like me. Have you heard the one about Charlie over at Pay Lake?
Always entertaining and occasionally controversial, the North Idaho Prepcast covers every inch of District 1 and District 2 activities in Idaho.
Bonner's Ferry, like the whole town was there, it seemed. I mean, they showed up, they were tailgating in the parking lot, barbecuing, playing games. Like, it literally felt like a small college atmosphere. It was super cool.
Hosted by Ryan Skaggs, the North Idaho Prepcast features the biggest stories happening in your area. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click Prepcasts in the menu to get caught up on what you've been missing, or check out each week's episode on the IdahoSports.com YouTube channel, Facebook page, or wherever you download podcasts.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy. It takes courage and determination to do hard things. Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Welcome to What If Idaho, the home of 1,000 paths for those that embrace possibility. There's no better place to be if you're looking for that next career, or just exploring. Life is a wide open door, no matter your age. Here at Next Steps Idaho, you can research careers and training options that work for you, and start a dashboard to keep your plans moving forward, so you can route your path from what if to what is at nextsteps.idaho.gov.
Our army of IdahoSports.com action photographers are covering games all over the state. And now we've revamped our galleries to make it even easier to find and order your favorite action shots. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click the Action Photos link in the menu.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Dear road rivals, you may have four wheels and a similar build, but our resemblance ends right there. Later, Toyota.
Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Moscow, Idaho. As we had a competitive game at one point, Simeon, but it quickly divulged into a Logos runaway as Logos leads 58-12 over the Lapwai Wildcats. And once again, I'm Garrison Hardy, and in the stands with me for this one is Simeon Rauch. And Simeon, what can we say other than Logos? This looks like a team that could potentially contend for a title.
Yeah, I mean, certainly. As you mentioned, at the beginning it seemed like it might be this back and forth gunslinging contest, and then Logos stepped up and the game got out of hand pretty quick. I mean, if Jack Driscoll with a couple interceptions on defense, a pick six, spreading the ball around well to his receivers, and then the defense really not allowing Lapwai to do too much besides, early on with Elias Year out. I mean, yeah, that's the story of the game, really.
Yeah, so here's essentially the recap, ladies and gentlemen. Early on, it was 6-6 Both teams had scored quick touchdowns on offense, and it looked like perhaps we're going to have a repeat of last year's game where Logos defeated Lapwai 66 to 56, and it was essentially a basketball score. Not the case this time around, as Logos's defense has been the difference. They have forced at least three turnovers against the Lapwai Wildcats in tonight's game. And from there, it just quickly snowballed. Offensively, Lapwai has not been able to get anything going since their second touchdown to Elias Yearout. And it's been all Logos ever since. So what was a 6-6 game, it quickly ballooned into 24-6. Lapwai was able to cut it in half from there. Elias Yearout has accounted for both of their touchdowns from Jaleese McCormick. Did I say that name right there? Let's double check here. Jaleese McCormick. There we go. And so McCormick has connected with Elias Yearout on 2 occasions, and that's been the gist of their offense. And then defensively, Lapwai has not been able to contain the Logos Knights attack either. So, again, some names that come to mind as far as scoring for Logos. Lucius Comas has a couple of touchdowns. Number 18, Dominic Porras, he almost had 2 touchdowns, but he dropped one in the end zone, unfortunately. Jack Driscoll, he's scored a couple of times on the ground. He's scored on a pick 6, and he's scored a couple of times through the air as well. It's just been a well-oiled machine, a well-oiled attack from Logos, and it doesn't have any signs of slowing down.
Yeah. One thing I've noticed is, for 8-man, looking over at the Knights as they warm back up for the second half, they've got a lot of players, a lot of people interested in this football program, which is still relatively new, third year of varsity, something like that. And, guys like Jack Driscoll just taking lead and really performing some great football out there.
That they have, and again, this is a Lapwai program with a lot of tradition. A couple of years ago, this is a program that was 8-3, and they were dead in contention of the state playoffs picture, and they had players like Titus Yearout, Ellenwood Jones Jr., and just elite talent on either side of the ball. And now they're in a bit of a year of transition and finding themselves here as they have Jaleese McCormick in at quarterback, a freshman who's got to replace Titus and Ellenwood Jones, both of whom were offensive players of the year for the White Pine League. So a bit of a finding themselves year for Lapwai as we actually see Coach Layton making his way over to talk to, I believe, Coach Holloway and the officials. And they're likely going to talk about potentially a running clock situation here.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it's some big shoes to fill for McCormick, and kind of opposite sides on these programs. You've seen Lapwai, who was certainly an elite group, and they still have, athleticism and talent, but still now needing to redevelop some new guys to take leadership versus Logos, which struggled, as we've seen in the last couple of years, especially with being a new program, and now has developed into being potentially what could be some, state contenders type of thing. And, we see both sides of the spectrum. In the end, you got a bunch of guys out here who love football, playing it on, even cold nights like tonight, and we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens indeed as Lapwai is making their way. They're running some warm-up drills on the far side there, and then Logos here is making their way back to the near sidelines. And by the way, this halftime report is brought to you by Next Steps Idaho. You can, if you're looking for your next step in your career, visit nextsteps.idaho.gov, and we appreciate their sponsorship here on IdahoSports.com. So we've got 50 seconds left here at halftime. And Logos is, again, just getting set to come back here on the field. We're going to take another short break, and we'll be right back here on IdahoSports.com. Second half coming to you.
At P1FCU, we're all about celebrating your wins, like finding an extra $10 in the wash.
Sweet.
Or your team winning the championship.
And it's out of here. Yes! Woo!
Your wins add up, just like earning dividends in an Ascend checking account. So let's celebrate the wins together. Open your account at p1fcu.org/win. P1FCU, your community, your credit union.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Moscow, Idaho, as the Logos Knights lead the visiting Lapwai Wildcats 58-12. And since early on in the first quarter, it has just been all Logos, and they are set to get things going here in the second half, and what will probably be a running clock situation.
Yeah. The crazy part is the ball is about to get back right in the Knights' hands here, so we'll see. Maybe Lapwai has a new stop here.
And they're going to go with an onside kick here, and Logos falls on it. So a good idea from Lapwai to start this second half, maybe try to steal a possession back, but they were unable to do so.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, take the shot, because kicking it downfield, you're just waiting for Logos to spend a little bit more time coming back to where it was. And who knows, you're going to get an onside kick sometime.
So 1st and 10. Logos offense back on the field, and an offense that was just humming along in the first half, and an offense where we'll likely see some younger players start rotating into the offense. We have a number 9 on the field, but that is not listed on the roster, as Porras deep over the top. He burns past the Wildcat defender, but they just couldn't get the connection there. Jack Driscoll's arm was a little too strong for its own good there.
Well, as you see, Logos not afraid to be like, hey, we're still gonna do some big plays here.
And we've got Joseph Sensing warming up here on the sideline, so we're likely going to see Jack Driscoll maybe do a couple more drives before rotating quarterbacks.
I hope those stats, right?
That's right. 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. And Driscoll back to pass. He's going to float this out to the far side. It's incomplete. Jonathan Morrill, the intended target.
Well, there you go. I mean, it's 2 plays and no gain.
You know, as cliche as it sounds, this is something where you can only take it one play at a time.
In the huddle, I see number 8. That's Paul Greaser. Small but mighty senior there.
3rd and 10. Driscoll in the gun. And they're going to fake the sweep to Comas. Driscoll keeps it himself. He's into the secondary, and yet another touchdown for Jack Driscoll. 55-yard touchdown there, and Driscoll adds to his impressive total.
Wow. Wow. I mean, that's really all you can say, right? I mean, big play after big play. Pretty crazy.
And that is, in fact, a running clock. So the clock is now ticking down towards the 9-minute mark. And I believe kickoff, so change of possession is where the clock will stop, as well as timeouts. Those are about the only times we'll see the clock stopping going forward. As Driscoll's in the gun. Driscoll takes the snap. It's going to be a wheel route, but it's incomplete. And I believe that was Lucius Comas on the far side. And he slipped and fell, unfortunately, so the 2-point conversion is no good. But still, 64 big ones being hung currently on Lapwai.
Yep. Wow. Still the bane of the 2-point conversion.
The bane of the 2-point conversion. I believe I've only seen 2 complete 2-point conversions thus far tonight, both from Jack Driscoll.
But touchdowns ultimately matter more.
And as it turns out, Logos has quite a few more currently.
Yeah. Running clock continues to tick.
8 minutes and counting, and that is a welcome sight for those of us freezing in the stands. And you know what? It's just the smart thing to do for these players, as you know, we don't want to risk injury at this point in time in a game that is no longer meaningful or close. So this is really the best thing for both teams, and it's still going to allow some experience on both sides of the ball, as they'll be able to rotate some younger players, younger talent into the game, get some experience against some quality opponents.
Here we go. Who's kicking here?
I believe that's Mallory once again, and we've got Whitefoot back deep to receive for the Knights. This one is just a spin cycle kick, and it's swallowed up at the 35-yard line, and Lapwai actually getting some decent field position, unlike the last couple of kicks.
Yeah, finally something positive there.
So Lapwai takes the field with 7 minutes and counting as the running clock continues. Here in the third quarter, 64-12 the score. And we've still got much of the starting defense on the field for Logos, and a lot of the starting offense on the field for the Wildcats. So they'll probably play out the third quarter, and then we'll see the backups get their time to shine.
Yeah.
And they're going to hand this one off to Barros on the far side, who cuts inside and is able to get into the second level and finally tripped up and brought down at the 50-yard line.
Real solid run through the arm tackles, continue to work forward, start to stumble, but stay on his feet, and then finally down, but great gain.
And that is the first positive run we've seen for Lapwai in some time, since probably early in the second quarter.
Yep. But, you know, coming back from halftime, that's the bright side.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 now after the burst up the middle. Gain of about 15 on the play. Ball's on the 50. On the far side of the field is Elias Yearout, the only one who's scored tonight for Lapwai. And they fake it to Barros, who's looking at the far side, and there's a fumble! Lucius Comas came sprinting in there and stripped the ball from McCormick, and Barros is there to fall back on top of it, fortunately for Lapwai.
Scary moment, but able to survive by, you know, getting back on top of it. But again, the Knights defense forcing another almost turnover, and then, you know, forcing Lapwai back another 5 yards.
So it's going to be, 2nd and 15 we'll mark it. 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Man, I'm not used to looking over and seeing a chunk of time off the clock.
Yeah, it's usually like, oh, it's 11:15 and 11:13 on the clock.
Yep, we've just seen 2 plays for 2 touchdowns in this half. But no, clock is ticking. And a fumbled snap, and once again, McCormick's able to fall on it, but that's just been a theme tonight offensively for Lapwai. You know, they've had 3 or so turnovers, but then they've also had several close calls.
Yeah, I mean, when the ball goes crazy like that, you just got to get back on top of it, and then you lose yards anyway. But at least you don't immediately give it back over to the Knights offense. But as we've seen a couple times, the Knights still able to, you know, drive the ball down the field regardless of if they do capitalize on those turnovers or not.
Now 4 minutes to go. 64-12 here in the third quarter. 3 down linemen for the Knights, and they only bring 2. McCormick steps up into the pocket, just has to sling it out to the far side. That's by Barros, who gets it past the original line of scrimmage, but he's brought down, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, I mean, if you can get that many yards again, that'll be a 1st down.
And at this point in time, it looks like Lapwai is going to bring the punt squad back onto the field. Barros appears as though he's back deep to – oh, never mind. This looks like their offense. McCormick from 4th and 8. Fakes it to Barros, looks over the top, fires it to Hayes, and it's batted away. Great defensive play from Paul Greaser, who got a paw on it.
There you go, senior showing some talent there. Able to block it on a pretty well thrown ball there, but nice defense.
Yeah, it was a decent post route and then a nice bullet towards his intended target. But Greaser, way to read it and stay with him. As Driscoll, it looks like his night is over. As into the game for the Knights, and under center is going to be number 14, Joseph Sensing. We saw him warming up on the sidelines. And they're going to fake the handoff here. And that's actually number 15, Baxter Covington. And Covington takes it the distance. One play, over 50 yards. Baxter Covington, unbelievable run up the gut.
Wow. Knights, even their second strings here, getting some pretty good action. Immediately comes on the field and immediately gets a long touchdown. Well done.
70-12 after that run from Covington, with just 2 minutes to go and the clock continuing to roll.
Yeah, quarterback keeper, and then just right up the field. He's also got quite a bit of speed as a quarterback there.
So the clock ticking under 140. Covington in the gun. Takes the snap, and they're going to hand this one off to Sunley up the middle, and that's their third two-point conversion of the night. And that makes it 72-12 in favor of Logos.
Yep, hey, another two-point conversion. Wow.
Their percentage overall on the night has not been that impressive, but they've still gotten some points on the board. And 72-12, 1:12 on the clock and counting, as the running clock is continuing. And we're just going to keep it right here, folks. And we want to say a quick thank you to Storm Electric. Storm Electric has been serving the Palouse and Camas Prairie region since 1938, providing electrical wiring for all sizes of projects and well pump installations. Storm Electric is licensed and insured in Washington and Idaho. When it's time to renovate your home, business, or to install a well water pump system, call them at 208-835-2331. Storm Electric, strong supporters of local high school sports.
Coming back on for special teams kickoff here.
And 1:02 on the clock here, remaining in the third quarter. And then we'll see the fourth quarter coming shortly hereafter. And
see if we can send this one back into the back of the end zone. Warming up there.
1:02 now. (72-12). And here's another kick from Honor Mallory. Sends this one deep into the night sky, and this one's taken by Whitefoot. Trying to get to the outside. He's got a convoy of blockers with him, and this is the best return of the night for Lapwai, and it's bounced out to the 48-yard line, we'll call it, and that's going to be the best field position of the night for Lapwai as well, as they hope to get some points on the board here.
Yeah, really well done. I mean, kick return to get past midfield, that's pretty good out of a special teams there.
So first and 10, ball on the 47-yard line, as McCormick once again hoping to get the offense moving. They have not put any points on the board since early in the second quarter. And they've got 10 seconds here in the third, so we'll likely just wait for the fourth, and we'll resume play.
The ball won't have to move too far, I guess.
They'll just swap it to the other 45-yard line, roughly. Folks, we've played 3. Our score in this one, Logos 72, Lapwai 12.
Yeah, I know a little something about myths. Like the myth that speeding isn't dangerous. Oh, and that myth you can tailgate at a safe distance. Or that you could safely weave in and out of traffic. Don't be fooled by myths. You'll get yourself into a hairy situation. Stay focused on the road. Be a legend like me. Have you heard the one about Charlie over at Pay Lake?
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Moscow, Idaho, where the Logos Knights are taking care of business on their home field against the Lapwai Wildcats. Currently leading 72-12, and it's been running clock here in the second half, so that third quarter went rather quickly, but Logos was still able to strike a couple of scores on the board. The most recent one was by their backup quarterback, number 15, Baxter Covington, who took it the distance on a quarterback keeper. And it's still Lapwai ball here, 1st and 10, and they hand it off to Barros, who tries to run it to the far side. And he's able to pick up a couple.
Yeah, the bright side of this drive was that, the kickoff return, honestly, putting it past midfield and setting you guys up for a good field position. Looks like they're running a little hurry up here.
Yep, that was a good return there from, that was Joseph Whitefoot as McCormick gets it to the near side here. They lower the shoulder and brought down out of bounds. That was number 23, Elias Yearout. And Yearout's been busy today. He's had a couple of deep, long ball receptions, both 60 yards and 75 yards respectively. So he's got over 150 yards receiving on the night in those 2 scores. But that's been it for Lapwai on the night.
Yeah, he also had a little interception on a 2-point conversion. But
hey, yeah.
Still, yeah, he's pretty much been the bright spot of any for them. And, they're going to fight it out through this 4th quarter and, learn some things from this tough loss tonight.
Running clock, 10:40 to go. They hand it to Barros, who tries to get the sweep to the outside going, and he gets a decent gain there. And, hey, we're seeing something that we haven't seen in some time, which is a solid push from Lapwai and positive yards on runs.
Yeah, so far a more consistent drive than most in the past of this game. And, yeah, they're starting to get into pretty far into Logos territory.
10-15 and counting, 2nd and 5. McCormick once again hands it to Barros and turns into a lead blocker, but good tackle from behind. That was number 48, Peter Story, on the tackle.
Hey, there we go. I think he's a younger player on that team.
Sophomore. Yeah, that's one thing you mentioned earlier on was Logos' roster size. I mean, they have got a deep team, which just makes them all the more dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, even if some of the starters get tired, you've got guys who are fresh off the sideline, and you just have depth everywhere in every position. As we saw, Baxter Covington came in at backup quarterback and then got a touchdown right off the bat. So it's like, when you have a bunch of guys interested in the sport and they love the game and they play well, it's great for your team.
9:20 and counting. McCormick, they go back to Barros. He's been busy this drive, and he gets out into the open field, and he just trips and falls. It looked like he could have had 6. But Barros, Julian Barros has been getting some good work this drive.
Yeah, I mean, he keeps getting the first down for him, and it looks like he just outran his feet there for a moment and went down. But anyway, that was a great run.
8:48, they go back to Barros, and he tries to push it to the near sideline, but can't get the edge and is brought down from behind.
Keep getting it to him and see if he breaks through for a touchdown. Almost did a couple plays ago.
They've gone all the way to the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 8. .8:20 and counting. And there's the drone making an appearance near side of the field. And a big tackle from behind as McCormick was trying to get to the edge once again, just couldn't do it. The speed of the Logos defense is something to behold.
Yeah, I believe that was George Evans on the tackle from behind. He was trying to get out to the sideline and then, yeah, gets caught from behind, and that's tough when you got fast guys like that on defense.
Now 7:40 and counting.
Obviously, you'd love to convert here and get a touchdown, but if you don't, you've got Logos pretty far back into their own territory. So.
Third and goal. McCormick fade route over the top towards Hayes, and it's incomplete, just well over the intended target's head.
Yeah, a little bit far in the corner there. Reached out for one hand, and I don't know if he got a finger on it or what, but it was sailing a little bit too far there.
Got a final score from our good friend and colleague, Brandon Bainey, at Post Falls with the win over Lakeland, 55-0. And that one was just a duck of a throw, and it's incomplete. It looked like the intended receiver was actually number 8, Paul Greaser.
Yeah, just missed that interception there, but it is what it is, and Logos' offense coming out here with some more and more young guys as we see. See if they can get out of here if Lapwai's defense is able to hold them.
Now 6:30 and counting, and the poor Wildcat on the far side of the field just hasn't really had much to dance about. And been a rough night for the fans over at Lapwai, and again, a proud program full of tradition and excellence. And Logos, just the new kids on the block. And Henry Sunley takes that one up the middle for a short gain.
Yep, we've seen him get the ball a few times, get a touchdown. Henry Sunley's a pretty reliable running back there.
Sunley's got a touchdown to his name today, as do a lot of Logos players. Covington takes the snap, and he is met with authority. That's a big old Elias Yearout who says, "Welcome to the league, big young man."
Yeah, another freshman quarterback in Baxter Covington, and met by a senior there, a little bit more experienced than
a senior all-conference player, no less.
Yeah, absolutely. Elias Yearout, both sides of the ball, is a solid player.
5 minutes and counting as we make our way towards the end of this ball game. It's been all Logos.
Third and long here now.
Covington has got 4 wide receivers in this set. Lapwai making some adjustments to the motion. And Comas, they fake the sweep to him. Covington tries to keep it himself, but the freshman's gobbled up and kept back in the backfield, and that is going to be 4th down. And Logos will likely punt from this situation as they're deep within their own territory.
Yeah, as the backup quarterback, I haven't really seen him throw yet this game, as he's been heavily running it, and him and Henry Sunley, it looks like. But, I mean, when he had the 50-yard breakaway touchdown on his first play, I suppose, like, hey, yeah, go ahead and try and run it again.
Right.
Goal comes off the punt for the Knights.
In punting for the Knights, that is looks like number 25, Clive Miller.
Defensive lineman.
Or that also could be Honor Mallory. And this one hit off the side of his foot, unfortunately. So not a great punt from Mallory.
Yeah. Set up really good field position for Lapwai. See if they can punch one more in here before the game ends.
Yep, Lapwai will get the ball at the 30-yard line, so great starting field position for Lapwai, and they'd certainly hope to end the game with a positive drive here. And again, if nothing else, this is an opportunity to work on some offense here against one of the better teams in the league, and try some things that you're going to want to try to work on later in the season.
Yeah. Yep, certainly now just finish out the game and, learn what you can from it. Make some good plays here at the end and see if you can up your score just a little bit more.
2:55. And they fake it to Year Out. They go towards Barros, who's been busy the last couple of drives, but he stumbles in the backfield. He would have been brought down likely for a loss regardless. This Logos defense has made a statement tonight. I mean, this is an athletic Wildcat team, and Logos just made them look pedestrian.
Yeah, wow, we can't stress it enough. It's a new program for the Knights, and it seems to have been working pretty well, especially tonight.
2:20 and counting as they go back to Barros, who tries to find the outside, to no avail. The tackle made by Gideon Haney.
Yeah, defensive, almost entirely younger guys here for the Knights. Especially in the last few minutes, getting some good reps. They've been watching for most of the game, so I'm sure they're glad to get their blood running a little bit more out on the field.
150. That was always the worst when you're a guy who doesn't get in the game all that time, and it is cold out. And like, please let me in, or let me go to the locker room. And McCormick sends it over to the far side. That's Kipp. Quentin Kipp, who is able to pick up a couple.
Laid a little stiff arm there, but defender's still able to catch his ankle there and bring him down.
5 on the play, still brings up 4th and 7 for Lapwai.
It's going to be 4th and 7. Ball spotted at the 26 or 27-yard line. 1 minute, 8 seconds to go.
Wonder if they try and send a deep shot or what they go here.
McCormick looking to post route over the middle, and it's incomplete. There were some targets there as well, as it looked like Year Out was deep over the top. He maybe could have hit him, but he went the shorter route towards Quentin Kipp, and it was incomplete. And that's going to do it, folks, as there are 40 seconds and counting on the clock. And looks like the clock is going to run out here in Moscow, Idaho, on another victory for the Logos Knights. 25 seconds.
Maybe they're trying to pull off one more play.
We'll see what Coach Holloway does. My money would be on them kneeling and showing some respect here, and that's what they do. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it here from Moscow, Idaho.
Your final score tonight,
Logos 72, Lapwai 12. A statement win for the Logos Knights as they improve to 5-0 on the season. And the rest of the state of Idaho is on notice in the 1A D1 division. We'll be right back after these brief messages here on IdahoSports.com.
Welcome to What If Idaho, the home of 1,000 paths for those that embrace possibility. There's no better place to be if you're looking for that next career, or just exploring. Life is a wide open door, no matter your age. Here at Next Steps Idaho, you can research careers and training options that work for you, and start a dashboard to keep your plans moving forward, so you can route your path from what if to what is at nextsteps.idaho.gov.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Moscow, Idaho, here in District 2, as the Logos Knights just got through with thumping the Lapwai Wildcats 72-12. And Simeon, before we go, we got to say a quick thank you to our IdahoSports.com player of the game. Who's your pick?
I mean, obviously the Knights laid it on pretty hard tonight, and several players got in on the action, but one pretty clear, quarterback and defender, Jack Driscoll. I mean, he had a pick six, he had another interception, he had several rushing touchdowns, several through the air to multiple different guys. 6 or 7 touchdowns for several hundred yards, really showing why he's the leader of this team. He's a senior this year. He's been developing really well, and I mean, congratulations, Jack Driscoll.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for us here in Moscow, Idaho, as the Logos Knights pull off a statement win over Lapwai, 72-12. They improve to 5-0 on the season, and their really historic run continues, and the rest of the state of Idaho is on notice. And again, for my partner in crime at Simeon Rock, I'm Garrison Hardy. So long, everybody, from District 2 here on IdahoSports.com.
This has been a presentation of Idaho